7 emotions. Emotions, negative or positive, are impermanent, they would not last. But we cannot say we don't care about our emotions, because they are impermanent. Buddhists cannot say both suffering and happiness are impermanent, so we need not seek nor avoid them. We all know that negative emotions lead to suffering, whereas positive ones lead to happiness. And the purpose of all Buddhists is to achieve happiness. So should try to achieve things that cause happiness, and whatever causes suffering. We should deliberately happiness. According to Buddhism, there are 7 kinds of emotions. What can be born with ease is happiness. Ordinary happiness is the gratification of a desire. However, as soon as the thing desired is achieved, do we desire something else or some other kind of happiness? For our selfish desires are endless. Money cannot buy happiness, or wealth does not always conduce to happiness. In fact, real happiness is found within, and is not be defined in terms of wealth, power, honors, or conquests. The Buddha enumerates some kinds of happiness for a layman. They are the happiness of possession, health, wealth, longevity, beauty, joy, strength, property, children. The Buddha does not advise all of us to renounce our worldly lives and pleasures and retire to solitude. However, he advised lay disciples to share the enjoyment of wealth with others. We should use wealth for ourselves, but we should also use wealth for the welfare of others. What we have is only temporary. What we preserve we leave and go. Only karmas will have to go with us along the endless cycle of births and deaths. The Buddha taught about the happiness of lay disciples as follows. A poor, but peace life is real happiness. Leading a blameless life is one of the best sources of happiness. For a blameless person is a blessing to himself and to others. He is admired by all and feels happier, being affected by the peaceful vibrations of others. However, it is very difficult to get a good name from all. The wise men try to be indifferent to external approbation. Try to obtain the spiritual happiness by transcending of material pleasures. Then the Buddha continued to remind monks and nuns, nirvana bliss, which is the bliss of relief from suffering, is the highest form of happiness. Thus, the Buddha taught on happiness. In the Dharmapada Sutra, happy is the birth of Buddhas. Happy is the teaching of the true law. Happy is the harmony in the Sangha. Happy is the discipline of the united ones. Oh, happily do we live without hatred among the hateful. Among hateful men we dwell unhating. Oh, happily do we live in good health among the ailing. Among the ailing we dwell in good health. We shall always live in peace and joy as the gods of the radiant realm. Victory breeds hatred. Defeat breeds suffering. Giving up both victory and defeat will lead us to a peaceful and happy life. If by giving up a small happiness or pleasure, one may behold a larger joy, a far-seeing and wise man will do this. A wise man will leave the small pleasure and look for a larger one. It is pleasant to have friends when need arises. Enjoyment is pleasant when shared with one another. Merit is pleasant when life is at its end. Shunning of, giving up, all evil is pleasant. To revere the mother is pleasant. To revere the father is pleasant. To revere the monks is pleasant. To revere the sages is pleasant. To be virtue until old age is pleasant. To have steadfast faith is pleasant. To attain wisdom is pleasant. Not to do evil is pleasant. According to Buddhist stories, sorrow and joy, each producing the other, or each being inherent in the other. There is no greater love in this world Then the love of the mother and father. If a person, carrying father on the left shoulder and mother on the right shoulder, were to walk around the Sumera mountain hundreds of thousands of times, with blood covering both feet, it would still not be enough to repay the love and hardship of child-rearing, Dhammapada. The Buddha taught, love is the only way to destroy hatred. Hatred cannot be defeated with more hatred. Buddha taught, when you hate others, you yourself become unhappy. But when you love others, everyone is happy. In order to eliminate hate, you should meditate on loving-kindness, pity and compassion. Greed and lust are unrestrained. Desires for material possessions such as food, sleeping, sexual intercourse, all related to sensual pleasures. We also have a desire for appropriations, showing off, authority, and profits. The cover of desire which overlays the mind and prevents the good from appearing. Since they are like bottomless barrel, neither obsessive greed nor desire can be stopped or satisfied. Through tricks, expedients, and manipulations we try to reach our goal, irrespective of whatever happens to others. We Buddhists must see that greedy people are generally selfish, wicked, and prone to cause sufferings to others. As a result, they transform this world into a battlefield, where tears are shed like streams, and sufferings rise like an ocean tide. Desire for and love of the things of this life, such as craving, greed, affection, desire. Most people define happiness as the satisfaction of all desires. The desires are boundless, but our ability to realize them is not. And unfulfilled desires always create suffering. When desires are only partially fulfilled, we have a tendency to continue to pursue until a complete fulfillment is achieved. Thus, we create even more suffering for us and for others. We can only realize the true happiness and a peaceful state of mind when our desires are few. This is one of the great steps towards the shore of liberation. The Buddha taught, craving and desire are the cause of all unhappiness or suffering. Everything sooner or later must change. So do not become attached to anything. Instead, devote yourself to clearing your mind and finding the truth, lasting happiness. Knowing how to feel satisfied with few possessions help us destroy greed and desire. This means being content with material conditions that allow us to be healthy and strong enough to cultivate. This is an effective way to cut through the net of passions and desires, attain a peaceful state of mind, and have more time to help others. In nowadays society, one fears everything: fear of no money, fear of homelessness, fear of sickness, old age and death. In fact, because of lack of understanding about the real nature of life, we try to maintain things that we are unable to. That's why we feel fear of everything. Buddhists should always remember that life is changeable, and it composes of a bundle of changeable, impermanent elements. Once we understand the real nature of life, we don't have the feeling of fear in life anymore.